Hello and welcome to the Discipler Training International Discipleship Training Video Tours. This is one video in a series that provides an overview of the Phase 1 curriculum that is a part of the Tool for Personal Discipleship, the foundation of DTI. To effectively watch these training videos, you will want to have the lessons printed. You can print them from our website, www.disciplers.org. Our desire is that God will make you into an effective spiritual parent and that your life will be multiplied many times over. Thanks. Lesson 1-8 is a set of diagrams depicting our two natures. Diagram 1 represents Adam before he sinned and Jesus as he was while living on earth. Jesus is often called the second Adam. Adam made the decision to sin against God, and Jesus made the decision to not sin against God. Everyone in the human race is born from Adam, and is depicted in diagram number 2. Born with a corrupted or flawed human nature and spiritually dead in relationship to God. In the diagram number 2, the absence of God's presence in the unbeliever's life is represented by the dark circle in the middle. The dark tree represents the corrupted or flawed human nature. The chain represents the unbeliever's bondage to the sinful nature. The corrupted human nature does not prevent us from doing things that appear to be good, but it does prevent us from doing perfect things, and only perfect things can go into heaven. Man with the corrupted human nature is only capable of producing flawed fruit, always less than perfect. In diagram 3, at salvation, the Holy Spirit comes into the believer's life and resides in their spirit. The Holy Spirit can only produce perfect fruit, but the believer also continues to have the same sinful human nature. The sinful nature of the believer is the same as the sinful nature of the unbeliever. The sinful nature of the believer has not been improved, repaired, or made acceptable to God. This is also showing us for the first time in the lessons the depiction of abiding, to be in fellowship with or walking in the Spirit. Abiding simply means that there are no unresolved issues or offenses with the Holy Spirit at this moment. In other words, at this moment the Holy Spirit is not holding me accountable for any unresolved issues. Diagram 4 depicts the condition of being out of fellowship with the Holy Spirit, having grieved or offended him. Remember that the Holy Spirit resides with the believer forever, but at any time the believer can allow his abiding fellowship with the Holy Spirit to be disrupted by letting something come between him and the Holy Spirit. As shown in diagram 2, the unbeliever has no choice but to be submitted to the sinful human nature. The believer has a choice, and at any given moment can choose to submit himself to the sinful human nature. What does it look like to be in or out of fellowship with the Holy Spirit? We'll look at the marriage relationship. To live in continual harmony is a learning process. If a spouse is offended, then the issue needs to be resolved in order to restore harmony and fellowship. Many Christians habitually reside in number 4. They often become accustomed to living as a defeated child of God, even though they may yearn to live in harmony with the Holy Spirit. Many think there is a special key or a secret formula to be living in number 3. They don't know how to get from number 4 to number 3. And we tend to focus on improving behavior instead of being in abiding fellowship with the Lord. Stop focusing on behavior and start focusing on the transforming relationship with the Lord. Now, how can I know if I'm out of fellowship with the Holy Spirit? Well, usually physical symptoms indicate an ailing body. Similarly, look for ongoing spiritual symptoms of the sinful nature, such as stumbling, striving, impatience, lack of peace, frustration, sense of defeat, dissatisfaction, complaining, worry, anxiety, anger, irritability, addictive behavior, critical or judgmental attitudes, etc. If any of the above symptoms are chronic, in other words, ongoing in your life, it would suggest that there is an unresolved issue or issues between you and the Holy Spirit and that you are not abiding. The Holy Spirit wants to always be in fellowship, abiding with Him, and thus He is always willing to show us what has grieved or offended Him if we are willing to ask Him and then listen to Him. Let the peace of Christ rule in your heart.